They vanished. All three. Same neighborhood, same week. And all the police said was, kids run away all the time. But these kids didn't run. They were taken. And the system knew more than it claimed. East Willow, Georgia, October 2019. Monday, Devin Carter, 16, star athlete, a B student, walked home from practice. Never made it. Last seen on Grove Street, 6:17 p.m. A neighbor saw him pass under the flickering streetlight. Then, nothing. No phone, no bag. Just gone. His mother, Latrice, reported him missing that night. She begged them to start a search. Instead, they handed her a pamphlet. He'll turn up. Teenagers wander. But Devin never wandered. He never stayed out past 8. He had a scholarship interview the next day. 2 days later, Wednesday, it happened again. Jamal Boyd, 15, bookworm, never missed class. Walked his little sister to school. Walked back alone. She said goodbye at the gate. He never walked through the door. The school called home. His mother panicked. Police told her the same thing. He's probably skipping. He'll be back. But Jamal didn't skip. Didn't party. Didn't even have a social media account. Something wasn't right. Friday night. Aaliyah Monroe, 17. Choir lead. Grocery store cashier. Took the bus home like she always did. But the driver said she never got off at her stop. Her wallet was found at the back of the bus. Her ID still inside. The responding officer filed it as a probable runaway. 3 teens. Gone in 5 days. No searches. No Amber Alerts. No press briefings. Just paperwork and silence. But the community didn't stay silent. Mrs. Ada King, Devin's grandmother, wasn't having it. A retired librarian. Quiet, but sharp. She gathered parents, neighbors, anyone who'd listen. She pulled security cam footage from her bookstore. 7:02 p.m. Devin passed by. Then a van, no plates, no logo, tinted windows. That same van was spotted near Jamal's school. And again, in the background of the gas station, Aaliyah visited minutes before she disappeared. 3 kids, 1 van, 1 week. Still, no case. The lead detective said, "There's no evidence linking the cases. Please don't spread panic." Panic? Number grief, fear, fury. Then something broke the case open. A tech-savvy cousin of Jamal's hacked into an old public camera feed at the city's northbound toll road. Timestamp, Friday, 9:26 p.m. Same night Aaliyah vanished. That same black van drove past, slowed at the checkpoint. No toll card scanned. Then, a flash of light inside the van. Then darkness. The police were forced to look, forced to act. They pulled van registration records. One stood out. Name, Louis DeWitt. Age 48. Volunteer youth counselor. Formerly employed at Willow Baptist Church. Let go in 2016. Quietly. Why? No official reason. But rumor had it, he got too close to the teens. Inappropriate questions, midnight texts, 1 complaint. Then silence. He was never charged. Just let go. When police visited his home, he was gone. So was the van. Inside his apartment, nothing but trash, expired food, and a map, taped to the wall, marked with red circles. Each one matched locations where the kids were last seen. Now the city couldn't pretend anymore. They launched a task force. FBI stepped in. The media finally ran with it. But it was already too late. 7 days gone, no kids, no suspect. And then they found something. An abandoned greenhouse on the edge of town, owned by a defunct nursery company, shut down since 2004. Never inspected, never touched. Inside, behind layers of dirt and tarp, was a trap door. Below that, a concrete room. No windows, no lights, no stairs, just a ladder and silence. At the bottom, 3 chairs, bolted, 3 ropes, a broken camera, and a phone. Dead, but intact. They took the phone into evidence. Digital forensics ran a scan. There were 3 voice recordings, dated Monday, Wednesday, Friday, each matching the night the teens vanished, but the files were heavily encrypted, almost military grade. The FBI was able to restore one short clip. It was Devin. If you're hearing this, something happened. I don't know why he chose me. Static, then silence. The city froze. People cried, marched, prayed. Still, no bodies, no suspect, no trace of Louis DeWitt. It's like he vanished into air. But then, something strange happened. Aaliyah's social media updated. 2 weeks after the discovery, a DM sent to her best friend. Don't trust them. Don't believe the news. Watch who you talk to. The profile was active for 30 seconds, then deactivated. It pinged from Baltimore, Maryland, hundreds of miles away. The FBI dispatched agents. They found the internet cafe where the login came from. The manager said a girl had been there. Hoodie, glasses, shaking hands. Looked scared, said she paid in cash. Left quickly. That was the last confirmed sighting. And now the story takes a turn. When the FBI agents asked for the camera footage, sorry, system's been down for weeks. Of course it had. But one thing stuck out. The girl left behind a single item, a folded napkin. Inside it, a bus receipt. Stamped, Greyhound, departed, Charleston, South Carolina, arrival, Baltimore, Maryland, October 22nd, 9:17 a.m. Wait, Charleston? That's nearly 4 hours from East Willow, where she was abducted, meaning someone transported her. Across state lines, alive. Now the FBI had proof. This wasn't just a runaway case. It wasn't even just kidnapping. This was trafficking. And Aaliyah, she was moving, running, or being moved. They issued an interstate Amber Alert. Finally. But they were 10 days behind. Still, the napkin changed everything. It had something else. A code. Written in shaky handwriting, 23L/1X/Willow. No one could crack it. Until Mrs. King, Devin's grandmother, noticed something. She recognized the style. It matched the shelving system in the Willow County Library, a section she used to organize when she worked there. Section 23L, local yearbooks, archived high school files, 01X, Box 1, Shelf X, old school club rosters. She drove there herself. Library was closed. She called in a favor, and that's where she found it. An old box, dusty, untouched since 2009. Inside, photos, printed rosters, and a familiar name, Louis DeWitt, but not as a counselor, as a student. Aaliyah had found something about him. She was leaving clues. DeWitt had graduated from East Willow High in 2009. He was president of a campus group no one remembered, the Watchtower Club. There were no photos of this club, just a list of names. DeWitt's was first. 7 others followed, all now adults, all still living in Georgia. And one of them was now a detective on the East Willow police force. You read that right. The same force that claimed, there's no pattern to these disappearances. The same department that ignored every parent's cry. Now it made sense. The delays, the lost reports, the runaway labels. This wasn't incompetence. It was cover-up. The FBI quietly pulled phone records. The detective in question, Officer Miles Breckman, had exchanged 37 text messages with Louis DeWitt over the past year, all deleted. But the timestamps lined up with each disappearance. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every van sighting, every missing teen. Now this was no longer just a missing persons case. This was a network, and someone had just blown it open. Aaliyah. She had survived something horrific. And instead of running for good, she left breadcrumbs. But she was still in danger. And now, so was anyone helping her. Then came another twist. A tip came in, anonymous, a male voice, muffled. He told agents, check the burned trailer off Route 9. She was there, but not alone. They arrived within the hour. Smoke was still rising. Inside the shell of the trailer they found a scorched mattress, chains, burnt documents. And under the floorboards, a cracked burner phone. Miraculously, it powered on. It had one text, never sent, typed but never delivered. From Aaliyah, it read, "They don't work alone. One of them wears a badge." The FBI knew time was up. They couldn't stay quiet. They issued a national BOLO for Louis DeWitt, connected him to 3 abductions, multiple state crossings, and now, possible homicide. But DeWitt had vanished. No digital trail, no credit cards, no known relatives, just ghosted. Until 3 days later, a call came in. From Atlanta, an old woman. She said a girl had shown up at her church. Alone, tired, silent. She wore men's clothes, oversized sneakers, and a crossbody bag. When the pastor asked her name, she whispered, "Aaliyah." Agents rushed to the church, but by the time they arrived, the girl was gone. The pastor handed over the bag she'd left behind. Inside, a flip phone, a spiral notebook, a bus ticket stub to Detroit, and a photo. A torn photo of Devin, Jamal, and Aaliyah. Smiling. School cafeteria. Stamped March 2019. On the back, Aaliyah had written, "Only one of us made it out, but I'm not done yet." The notebook, it wasn't just a diary. It was a timeline, a map, a warning, and it changed everything. Dates, locations. First entry. Day 1, he said my name before I told him. She described the abduction. The black van, the duct tape. The voice she heard from the front seat. "Don't worry, sweetheart. You're special. You were chosen." But she wasn't alone. She wrote, "Devin was already there. He tried to talk to me. They shocked him." Jamal arrived 2 days later. That's when she realized this wasn't random. They were chosen. Page 4. He knew everything. Our class schedules, our bus routes, our parents' shifts. Said we were part of a correction plan. Said we were selected by a committee. Called it the Watchtower. The Watchtower. That name again. The same group Louis DeWitt belonged to in high school. The same name found in a 2009 club roster. The same name that popped up again now. Except this time, Aaliyah added something new. A list of 7 names. All men. All connected. 5 in Georgia, 1 in Texas, 1 in Detroit. She had drawn arrows, circles, notes. One name had 3 red stars next to it. Elias Rohn, a local politician, big in real estate, owned rental properties across state lines. But no one knew about his past until the FBI ran a deep background check. Bingo. Rohn attended East Willow High, graduated in 2009, same year as Louis DeWitt. And his senior thesis project, archived digitally, was titled Youth Reform Through Social Discipline. He wrote, "True justice is not reactive, it is preventative. Certain children must be corrected before corruption can begin." It read more like a manifesto than a paper, and that paper was cited by the Watchtower Club. Aaliyah had connected it all. The disappearances, the cover-ups, the ideology. They weren't just abducting kids. They believed they were saving them. Now, the FBI had a direction. They sent agents to Detroit, tracked Roan's properties. One stood out, a rundown foster home, closed in 2015, never sold, still in his name. Neighbors said they'd seen vans pull in after midnight. No one came out. They raided the building. What they found sent chills through the entire task force. The home's interior was gutted, but underground, a hidden corridor. 5 cells, all soundproof, with sliding panels and steel locks, old clothes, school IDs, a wall covered in photos of black teens, dozens. Some never reported missing. Some the families had searched for years. In one room, agents found a burnt mattress, a broken cot, and a nail scratched into the wall. AJ was here. They watched us through the walls. Aaliyah Monroe. She'd been there, and she'd left a mark. But she wasn't the only one. In the next room, they found blood and a ring, engraved with D.C. Devin Carter. Now the stakes were real. The FBI labeled it a domestic trafficking ring with ideological motives. And the Watchtower was no longer a theory. It was a secret society, operating in shadows, with access, with protection, and with a mission. Then came the next twist. The flip phone Aaliyah left behind finally decrypted. One video file, corrupted but recoverable. Grainy footage, a small room, fluorescent lights. Devin, barely conscious, face bruised. He looked at the camera and said, "If anyone sees this, we're not dead, but they don't plan to keep us alive either. We're lessons, examples. They said the world won't miss us." Then a voice off-screen. "Time's up." Cut to black. That video aired on national TV. The outrage was immediate. Protests, petitions, demands. But the FBI kept something hidden. A final note found on the back cover of Aaliyah's notebook. Written in block letters, "They have a mole inside the task force." And then, the case imploded. The lead agent, Special Agent Donnelly, was pulled from the investigation. His personal laptop contained encrypted files linked to Watchtower keywords. Internal Affairs launched a full probe. Everything stalled. And Aaliyah, still missing. Last confirmed sighting, a Detroit gas station. CCTV showed her buying water and painkillers. Hooded, limping. She left on foot, alone. That was 5 days ago. But she wasn't hiding. She was still fighting. An email arrived at the FBI's secure tip line. Encrypted, untraceable. Subject line, "They'll find me, but not before I finish this." Attached was a photo. Aaliyah in an abandoned train yard, holding a new notebook. And behind her, a wall, covered in names. More names. Of kids who've gone missing in the last 10 years. From Georgia, North Carolina, Texas, Florida, all black. All unaccounted for, all believed to be runaways. The message ended with one line. They weren't runaways. Neither were we. I'll name every one of them before they silence me too. Aaliyah Monroe is on the run, but she's leaving a trail. Of names, of stories, of truth. The Watchtower thought they erased her, but they underestimated the wrong girl. And if what she's exposing is real, this goes deeper than East Willow. Deeper than just 3 teens. This may be the largest buried child trafficking ring in Southern history. And it's still active. Somewhere out there, they're watching. Subscribe to Unsolved Crime Digest. Because this story isn't fiction. It's what happens when no one listens until it's too late.